Y'all ready for a effed up black family movie? You'd think they were actually white. I'm about to traumatize y'all real quick. It's just another regular day, and Isaiah is squeezing his eggplant while looking at a photo for inspiration. Suddenly, the door opens, and his father, Sidney, catches him milking it. Sidney closes the door very quickly while apologizing to his son. Then he stays outside for a moment, asking Isaiah if it's finally okay to go in. When Sidney walks in, he tries his best to assure his son that what he's doing is normal and that there is nothing to be ashamed of. He even jokes that he didn't see anything. He doesn't want him to feel weird about it and explains that almost everyone is doing it. Isaiah intently listens to his father and asks if he also touches himself, but Sidney avoids answering the question. He tells his son that now there is no more secret between them. He doesn't want him to think that what he's doing is taboo. He caresses his son lovingly. Then Isaiah says, "I love you," to his father before letting him go. Sidney says, "I love you back," to him before walking out. He's completely unaware that it is his photo that his son is using for inspiration. I'm dead! Even when they're taking family photos, Isaiah can't take his eyes away from Sidney. Child, he don't even look handsome. His mother, Joan, even has to move his head to get him to stop looking. After 14 years, Isaiah is now a man. He marries his girlfriend, Marianne, and both their families officially become one. While Isaiah stays happy through the years, Sidney has obviously had life drained out of him. During a family photo, Isaiah thanks his father for everything while his hand wanders down to his father's peaches, giving it a squeeze, giving a literal meaning to the phrase, "Daddy?" After that, the wedding reception takes place. All of their friends and family are there to celebrate with them. Joan walks around looking for Isaiah. It's his wedding day, and he is nowhere to be found. Then she hears someone moaning and the sound of kissing. When she peeps into the glory hole, she's shocked to find Isaiah kissing Sidney and feeling him all over his body. Sidney is visibly displeased with the situation and isn't enjoying it. Isaiah takes off Sidney's coat before getting on his knees to pray, while Sidney has a blank look on his face. Joan can't stomach continuing to watch. She feels sick, so she looks away and wipes her tears before forcing a smile. She has to keep the guests entertained and can't risk having them ask questions about the Alabama 19 outbreak that has struck her family. Much later, Isaiah consistently visits his childhood home, even when he's already married. Joan has never confronted him about what happened. During one family dinner, she sends Isaiah to tell Sidney it's time to eat. Marianne is Isaiah's lovely wife, and Joan likes her a lot. Sidney is a successful poet, and there are multiple books under his name. Struggling to find a way to share his struggles, he writes what's happening between him and Isaiah in the form of a novel. Even when he's in pain, he can't get himself to blame his son. Suddenly, he hears Isaiah coming, so he quickly closes the window so his son won't see what he's written. The computer stops working for a moment, and he's scared that he's going to get caught. He turns off the computer, and lucky for him, Isaiah doesn't notice anything. Isaiah says it's time for din-din. At the dinner table, Isaiah offers Sidney some wine that he got for him. Sidney refuses, which quickly annoys Isaiah. To pacify the situation, Joan volunteers to drink some, but Isaiah gets angrier, insisting that he got it for his father. The tension is starting to rise, so Sidney takes a sip from his drink and offers Joan the wine that Isaiah bought. Makes me wonder if the wine is spiked. Joan reaches out to touch Sidney, and they hold hands as they look lovingly at each other. Isaiah stares at his parents with contempt behind his eyes. Under the table, his foot starts to touch Sidney's legs. Playing footsies with your father is diabolical. The next day, Sidney has printed out his autobiography titled The Cocoon Man, a confession of his secrets. He takes it to the master bedroom. He sticks a note in front of it, apologizing to his wife. He leaves it under the pillow so Joan can read it after getting out of the shower. However, when Sidney walks out of the room, he sees Isaiah. Isaiah says his toilet is not working, so he's going to use the one in his parents' room. Sidney tries to stop him by saying Joan is still taking a dookie, but Isaiah smiles at him, saying he'll just wait for her to finish. Sidney waits in despair in his office. He suspects that Isaiah found the manuscript. He badly wishes he hadn't, but somehow he expects the worst. When Isaiah walks in holding his autobiography, Sidney's heart drops to the floor. Isaiah drags a chair so he can sit close to his father. Seeing how disappointed his son is, Sidney immediately apologizes for what he wrote. He's visibly terrified and on the verge of tears. Isaiah can't believe that his father has written an autobiography like that. He is shocked to the core, as if he's been betrayed. He proclaims that he loves his father so much, and yet Sidney is making things difficult for both of them. Isaiah says that he will burn the manuscript right away, and if he sees another one of the same story, Sidney will face some serious consequences. Fearing for his life, Sidney deletes the copy of the story on his computer. On New Year's Eve, Marianne and Isaiah celebrate with family and friends over at Sidney's house. Isaiah grabs his wife and kisses her while keeping his eyes on his father. Marianne kisses him back, not knowing he has his eyes wide open. I rebuke this, man. I rebuke this type of love, and may it never find anyone. Sidney meets his eyes, but there's a pained expression on his face. When the celebration is over and everyone has gone home, Isaiah punches a framed photo. Then he calmly tells Marianne that he will stay behind. She can't understand why, but he explains that he feels bad for letting his parents clean up the mess all by themselves. Marianne got her hair did by Tyler Perry's people. Meanwhile, Sidney is taking a bath. He calms himself by listening to an audiobook, an escape from the hell he's living. When Isaiah goes to check on him, he gets furious that the bathroom door is locked. He keeps trying to open it, shouting and reminding his father that he doesn't like locked doors. But Sidney, with his eyes closed, is too focused on what he's listening to. But when he hears a loud banging on the door, he opens his eyes and removes the headphones. Slowly, the side of the door cracks, and Isaiah successfully kicks it open. Sidney screams at the top of his lungs. His pain echoes through the entire house. He begs Isaiah to stop what he's doing. Joan is upstairs watching a show, and she hears her husband screaming. But instead of helping him, she takes the remote and adjusts the sound on the TV, so she won't hear Sidney getting assaulted. F the son, but F the mama too. This type of story is too true in families. The director just reversed the roles between father and son, but the mamas have protected the abusers many times. After it's over, Isaiah gets out of the tub and pulls his pants back up like nothing happened. He even mocks his father, challenging him to write the assault in his book. Sidney is so traumatized that he can't sleep later that night. He looks over at Joan, wondering if she has heard the whole thing. And if she did, why is she not saying anything? Because she a spineless hoe. Joan is also in shock that she can't fall asleep. Knowing it will never stop, Sidney has finally reached his limit. He takes a copy of the manuscript that he hid from his son. It's the last one. However, as he quietly goes down the stairs, a voice in the living room calls out to him. It's so abrupt that he can't take the next step. Isaiah already knows what he's holding and suspects that he's going to show it to someone. He admits that he did go too far with the assault the night before, and he will offer an apology if his father demands it. The gaslighting continues and Sidney is frozen in place as Isaiah calls him his best friend. Isaiah says his father is a consenting party and that they both wanted everything that happened. He insists that it was his father who started it. Isaiah even proceeds to say that they have a beautiful thing going on and Sidney is about to ruin it because he's confused. Sidney can't even get a word out. Isaiah accuses Sidney of being stuck in a loveless marriage. Mr. Delulu thinks what they have is love, a big and scary kind of love. Sidney holds the manuscript tight and runs out of the house. Isaiah runs after his father, but Sidney is so scared he fails to notice the oncoming vehicle and it hits him. Isaiah is so devastated. He hugs his father as he cries, and when Joan tries to come closer, he tells her to F off and call an ambulance. But it's too late and Sidney dies. Joan doesn't know how to grapple with the grief, with no one to talk to about what she knows. Isaiah misses his father so much and he's struggling to cope. He takes Sidney's clothes and begins to dress like him, so it feels like he's still around. Isaiah gets annoyed when he catches his mother watching him, but his demeanor changes quickly and asks her how she's handling the grief. Even though she's visibly scared, Joan musters the courage to ask Isaiah why Sidney was crying on prom night. Years ago, Sidney picked up Isaiah after prom and he came home, upset. He locked himself in the bathroom and cried for hours. To drown the sound of him crying, he left the water running. Isaiah insists he doesn't remember what happened 10 years ago, but Joan believes it's something he must remember. Or maybe the abuse started earlier than that. Isaiah looks appalled. He accuses his mother of implying something was happening between him and his father. He acts as if she's being crazy for thinking something so horrid. But his gaslighting doesn't work on her like it did with Sidney. Joan calls him a monster to his face and says he is the one who killed his father. He tries to stop Joan when she's about to walk away, so she slaps him. He warns her not to do it again, so she smacks him again. Pissed, he hits her back and announces that he loves Sidney more than Joan ever did. So Joan sinks her fingers into his face and tries to gouge his eyeballs out. Isaiah punches his mother, and that is when she grabs something sharp, which she uses to stab him in the chest. Isaiah is furious. He grabs his mother and tries to burn her by dragging her into the fire. Joan fights back and reaches for the poker. She stops holding back and starts to beat him up with the stick. Then she proceeds to stab him with it, crying as she does. When it's finally over, she throws the manuscript into the fire, letting the story of their life remain a secret. We can assume she goes to prison for this. I'm glad Isaiah died, but she let her husband be abused for so many years. Her punishment could be worse. And would you look at that? Directed by the twisted Ari Aster. What did you guys think of this one? The full 30-minute movie is actually on YouTube. It is called The Strange Thing About the Johnsons. The acting is great, but it's too good that it creeped me out.
Subscribe to watch more videos like this. Turn on notifications. And leave a like, it really helps the channel out. Thank you for watching.